Good morning, I'm Chiki Verhel, and this is One News Now. Provincial buses from Calabarzon and other nearby southern provinces are now allowed to shuttle passengers to Metro Manila and back via the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange. To give us the latest situation from the terminal, we have Gerard de la Peña reporting live from Parañaque. Gerard, are you seeing a lot of buses and passengers from the south?
Well, Chiki, it looks like a regular pandemic day today at the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, and we're not seeing the long lines and the busy gates that we have been anticipating, and that is despite the fact that the government has already allowed provincial buses to take trips to and from Manila. Well, it turns out not a single bus from Batangas, Laguna, and the farther portions of Cavite that showed up today despite the government allowing their partial operations. PITX spokesperson Jason Salvador said they have also coordinated with bus companies to ask if there are any buses coming from the provinces today. But so far, the PITX management has not heard from them yet. 11 bus trips are supposed to end here today, including those coming from Batangas City, Lemery, Lipa City, Nasugbu, Ternate, Indang, Mendez, Tagaytay, Santa Cruz, and Siniloan, among others. But the PITX management said they are ready if any provincial buses show up anyway. Well, the PITX management said that they are meeting with provincial bus operators today at 10 a.m. to thresh out details such as those are related to advanced booking and also the schedule of trips. Well, the LTFRB mandated passengers going to the provinces to book their trips 2 days in advance, but so far the service is not yet being offered here at the PITX. Chiki.
Okay, Gerard, you mentioned that there are no passenger buses from the nearby provinces or from provinces in general coming to Metro Manila. How about passengers trying to catch a ride going to the nearby provinces? Did you see any of these passengers?
Well, Chiki, we've seen a number of them here, but of course they don't have any choice but to wait if any bus will show up today going to the provinces. Chiki.
Yes, you also mentioned that provincial buses have yet to show up today. There are none so far. Did the PTEX management discuss any reasons as to why this is the case?
Well, it's everybody's guess at this time, but the PTEX management said that maybe passengers are not yet keen on traveling, going back to Manila. So, yeah, that's maybe the reason why there are not any buses here at this point. Chiki.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much. That was Gerard de la Peña reporting live from Parañaque. The Transportation Department is looking to strictly implement cashless payments for buses running along the EDSA Busway. To tell us what commuters think about this, we have JC Cosico reporting live from Pasay City. JC, are commuters ready to comply? Should buses go fully digital soon?
Tricky passengers of buses plying the EDSA busway around say they are in favor of the cashless payment system the government is set to implement tomorrow. Buses shuttling passengers along the EDSA busway system will go fully cashless. This is considered a safety measure against COVID-19 since the handling and exchange of cash notes in public transport can cause the spread of the virus. With this, passengers will be required to buy B cards or store the value contactless cards where fares are automatically deducted just by tapping the card at fare collection machines. Each card is typically sold at 150 pesos with a 100 peso load. But beginning tomorrow, B cards will be sold at 80 pesos each, but with no consumable load. Here at the MRT Taft Avenue station in Pasay City, passengers are already lining up to buy and reload their B cards. Some say they are okay with this to avoid catching COVID-19. The same system is also being implemented at the LRT Lines 1 and 2, MRT 3, and by a number of point-to-point buses at modern PUVs nationwide. Commuters may reload their B cards at LRT and MRT stations and some convenience stores. Tricky, the physical distancing measure as well as the no face mask, no face shield, no ride policy is being implemented as well. Now passengers were told to tap up their beep cards or avoid inconveniences once the automated fare collection system is in place. Back to you.
Okay, we're talking about the beep cards. So does this mean that there will be some changes in terms of fares now that things are going cashless in terms of bus of transportation?
Tricky, we spoke to some drivers earlier and they said there will be no fare adjustments for now. They are telling us that for the first 5 kilometers, the fare is 13 pesos, and for the next kilometers will be 2 pesos and 20 centavos. Tricky.
Yes, does this mean that the first bus trips along the busway tomorrow will no longer accept cash payments? This will be totally cashless?
Yes, Ricky, that is why passengers are advised now to buy their beep cards or reload their beep cards, Ricky.
Okay, that made things much clearer. Thank you very much. That's JC Cosico reporting live from Pasay City. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Chiki Verhel. As more and more provincial buses resume trips to the metro and back, the Interagency Council for Traffic, or IATC, is expanding its inspections to ensure that provincial buses will go no further than the PITX. To give us the latest situation from the ground, we have Justine Punsalang reporting live from Parañaque. Justine, what do you have for us?
Chiki, for the third straight week, the IAC, or the Interagency Council for Traffic, is manning the boundary separating the Rojas Boulevard and Coastal Road. But this time, they are focusing on making sure that no provincial buses from the southern provinces will go beyond the PITX. Since 5:30 in the morning, the IAC Secretariat and members of the LTFRB flagged down buses to check whether they are sticking to their assigned routes. And so far, all buses within their routes so far all buses are within their routes and no provincial buses went beyond PITX. However, 2 vehicles, an AUV and a van, were impounded by the LTFRB for supposed irregularities. The driver of a DPWH shuttle van was not able to present a contract of lease, which is just the basic requirement for private vehicles operating as a shuttle service. On the other hand, an AUV was initially flagged down by Administrative Order 2014-01. The drivers will also be fined 200,000 pesos before they're able to recover their impounded vehicles. The IAC and LTFRB also issued tickets to drivers who violated basic traffic rules like improper use of helmet, having blinkers on their headlights, and non-wearing of uniform for PUV drivers. Chiki, according to IAC Special Operations Team Leader Jose Manuel Bonivi, the constant decrease of violators they have apprehended for the past 3 weeks only means that the drivers are becoming more disciplined and that they are aware that the IAC means business whenever they are apprehending violators. Chiki?
Yeah, it's good to know that the drivers are actually becoming more disciplined, but I'd just like to clarify this 200,000 fine. Does this also, 200,000 fine to recover impounded vehicles, does this cover all types of vehicles?
Well, Chiki, this 200,000 peso fine are just for private vehicles. However, for buses, the fine is actually 1 million pesos. And they will need to go to the LTFRB so that they can recover their vehicles. And that the buses, this 1 million fine, that only applies for provincial buses, but also city buses that are beyond their supposed routes. Chiki?
Thank you for the clarification. That was Justine Punsalang reporting live from Parañaque City. And it's settled House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano will step down to hand over the reins to Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco in light of their so-called gentleman's agreement. That's according to sources who were present in the meeting between President Duterte, Velasco, and Cayetano in Malacanang last night. The chief executive once again stepped in to settle the escalating row between the two lawmakers who are both gunning for the top position in the lower house. Recall that it was also Duterte who originally brokered the term-sharing deal between the two legislators. At the end of Tuesday's meeting, it was reportedly agreed upon by all parties that Cayetano will make an announcement as to what will happen moving forward. This puts an end to the burgeoning squabble between Cayetano supporters in Velasco's camp, who have been rounding up their allies and rallying support for their speaker of choice. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Chicky Verhel. We are One News.